Hello, friends. I wish you a pleasant listening. Do not forget to subscribe so as not to miss new stories. In ancient times, in order to convey his word to kings or entire nations, the Lord chose special people, prophets. They were to carry out his commands. One of these prophets was a man named Jonah. One day God gave him an unusual command. "Jonah," God said, "go to Nineveh and preach there." At first Jonah thought he had heard wrong. To Nineveh. Nineveh was the largest city of Assyria, a great and powerful neighboring state. It is impossible to preach there. Residents of the country will simply laugh at him. There he could be beaten or even killed. "No," Jonah decided, "I will not go to Nineveh for anything." In order not to fulfill God's instructions, he decided to run away from God and hide in a foreign land. Having paid for the trip, he boarded the ship and sailed away. At first, everything went well. There were no signs of trouble. But when they went far out to sea, a strong storm arose. The waves rose higher and higher. The sailors were gripped by fear, and when it seemed to them that the ship was about to sink, they began to loudly cry out to their gods. "Help us! Save us! Gods, hear us!" But the storm continued to rage. What about Jonah? After all, he knew the living God. Did he pray too? No, because he did not want to remind God about himself. Jonah went down into the hold of the ship, lay down there, and fell asleep. And then the captain of the ship came to him and woke him up. "Get up and pray to your God if you have one. Can't you see that we are drowning?" Jonah suspected that this storm had something to do with him and his escape, but he still didn't want to talk to God. The sailors were standing on the deck. "Let's cast lots," one of them shouted through the roar of the storm. "So we will find out for whom God is punishing us with this storm." The lot fell on Jonah. "Who are you and what have you done that God is punishing you and us together with you like this?" "I serve the living God, who made the heavens, the earth, and the sea," said Jonah. "But now I'm running from him. He sent me to Nineveh, but I did not want to go there." The sailors were silent, not knowing what to do with this man. "Take me and throw me into the sea," said Jonah. "Then the storm will stop. After all, this disaster befell you only because of me." "No," the sailors decided, "we cannot do this." But when they realized that all their efforts were in vain, they asked forgiveness from the God of Jonah, whom they did not know at all, and threw Jonah overboard. At that very moment, the storm subsided. At first, the sailors couldn't even believe it, but then they knelt on the deck and began to pray to the true God. What about Jonah? Did he drown? No. The Lord did not want his prophet to die. He wanted Jonah to preach in Nineveh. So God sent a huge fish that swallowed Jonah. The prophet stayed inside the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. All this time he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord commanded the fish to spit Jonah out onto dry land. How powerful is God, Jonah thought, finding himself on the shore. He can command the storms and the sea creatures, and they obey. And he immediately went to Nineveh. If you like this story, be sure to share it with your friends. Dear friends, I hope you like this story. Share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe so as not to miss the next interesting stories. I wish you all the best and see you soon.